Hello there. Welcome back. It's the Random Show, episode number 22. 2. Back again, live and direct. Obviously, 22 happened before, but it obviously cranked out and it was all stuttering. So I had to get my setup all nice. Now my setup's nice. I fixed my MacBook Pro. It's running well. Right, it's a 2012 one. It's not super recent. 2012 recent, not the most recent MacBook Pro in the world, but it's far more stable and far more adept at being able to handle my live streaming needs. And I'm happy about that. I'm not going to lie. I am happy about that and I'm over the moon about that actually. Over the bloody moon. So if you're tuning in right now, you should see a somewhat clearer stream. There shouldn't be as many drop frames. I hopefully won't get that warning message underneath my flipping stream like I always did. Like warning, turn down, what you call it? Um, encoder warning. It's like, shut up about encoder warning, man. Do you know who I am about encoder warning? Shut up. But anyway, we're back, man. We're back. Episode number 22. This is a special one today. A little emergency stream because clearly one of the most important things in the history of LA comedy has happened recently, where Brendan Schaub actually followed through with one of those bets that he does. You know, those challenges and things that he's always talking about? He actually followed through with one for once and actually ended up racing Shapel Lacey in a 100-meter dash. Not quite 100 meters, really, to be honest. It was, much less than 100 meters, but still they did it. I'm surprised. I'm shocked that he actually would do it because of all the stuff that he was talking in the past. But hey, credit where credit's due. The guy put his hamstrings where his mouth is, and obviously went ahead and did it. So props to him on that regard. But God damn it, God damn it, God damn it, the consequences or the results of it weren't the best. So we're gonna watch a little bit of that. We're obviously going to just maybe catch up on some other clips that I've found on the internet. So if you like that kind of thing and you're into it, then definitely hang around, check it out. If you don't like it, like my guy Eric C on the chat here, always sticking the boot in when it comes to United. If you don't like the stuff like my guy Eric C, then feel free to drop all your insults on the chat. Obviously, some of them are going to get auto deleted because YouTube does that thing, but I'll try to prove as much as I can. I'm a what you call it? I'm a radical free speech kind of guy, but I just think you're not, immune to consequences. So if the bot decides to kick you out or something goes haywire, that's not my problem. I did nothing wrong, like DSP. I did everything correct. I tried my best, but feel free to run amok in the chat and whatnot. Let's do the thing. Of course, if it's your first time tuning in, you know what to do. Usual YouTube things. If you're enjoying it, smash that like, bang, 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 right? And of course, if you're enjoying it and you want to check out some stuff later on, hit the subscribe and you will get notified for my other videos and stuff that I upload. Obviously, most of you will know I also do a podcast called the AgostinhoZinga Show, which is a bit more structured than what I'm doing now. I'm just kind of going to go through some tabs that I've opened up, basically stuff that I found on the Friday the Kids subreddit, the greatest subreddit in the history of the world. But if you want to see a more structured show and you like that kind of thing, more of a topical thing, more of a cultural commentary thing, then check out my podcast, the AgostinhoZinga Show. It's available on all platforms where you can get podcasts. Links are in the description, all that easy stuff. Nice and easy. But yeah, good to see you guys. Hopefully I'm not too loud and my levels are not too shocking for you. Just let me know. If I'm shouting and screaming, give me a heads up in the chat. Give me a P in the chat if I'm too loud, right? That's it, yeah. As everyone keeps saying touching P, give me a P if my levels are too loud in the chat. But we're just gonna go straight into it, smash bang wallop and all that, expressing, doing the thing, going with the race. We wanna see Wagwan, what people are saying in the chat right now. The bot is moving, the actual chat thing is moving a bit slow, so please forgive me if your things aren't coming up, but hopefully in time it will all kind of load up a little bit on there. But if it doesn't, then, I guess it doesn't, but hopefully it does kind of move on a little bit. But I can see it here on my phone, what people are saying. Manchester is blue, big up Eric, always reminding me. Appreciate going live so early, it's 10 a.m. here. Big up Eric C, no doubt about that. Philo, big up, HM3, poor Chubbs, brain, body are fading apart. Yeah. Hey, sometimes in life, you think you're Superman and then life reminds you, nah. You're not Superman. Here are your limitations. And I think for me, I don't know about you guys if you agree, but I always thought when it comes to dudes, oh my Jesus Christ, allow it. I've always thought when it comes to guys, we're quite lucky because we have sports. Sports are usually quite a really quick way. Yeah, I've always thought when you're growing up, right, when you do sports, it's a great way to kind of humble yourself as a dude because you quickly figure out what your limitations are and where you basically fall in the pecking order. And usually, even if you're crap at sports, but you're a game, you're kind of, you're up for taking part in basketball, football, whatever it may be. People don't necessarily give a crap. It's when you have a delusional sense of self that people kind of want to humble you. But for the most part, if you just like making up the numbers, people are fine with it. And you kind of figure out where you are in the pecking order and you just carry on with your life. You move on. But no one likes the guy in your class, and we've all had it. We've all had that dude or guy in the class that's been talking about, I could have made it in the league if I didn't bust my knee, if I didn't break my flipping, what you call it, socket thing when you throw, like all that nonsense. You're like, come on, dude. Like, we all know that's not true. We all know you're crap like the rest of us are. Just accept it and move on. But some guys just cannot accept it. Some dudes hold on to their former glory, and some dudes say, oh, I could have been that guy if this and that would have happened. Yeah, cool. I could have been flipping Rihanna's boyfriend, but I'm not, innit? I'm here talking to you, motherfucker. So let's just accept where we're at, enjoy the time that we have available on this earth, and just keep it moving. But yeah, let's get straight on involved. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's not bury the lead as they do in other things, and let's just jump straight into it, innit? Let's just jump straight into it. This video is legitimately one of the best videos that's ever existed in the history of the world. Big up everybody on the Fire and the Kids subreddit for making it so. Let me just quickly move myself out of the way here so it doesn't look too, oh God almighty, I look weird on here, innit? Let me quickly edit this one time. Give me a moment. Oh, is that too small? Yeah, that's too small. Maybe that's too small. Let me go a little bit larger. Let's bring the edges across on here. Let's take away that. Let's bring myself about over here. And then maybe I'll stretch it like that. How does that look? That looks all right, isn't it? Right? That looks okay, doesn't it? Yeah, look all right there. You get the gist of the vibe, innit? You know the vibe. You get the gist of it. You get the gist of it. As long as you can see my face and hear my audio, that should be fine. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's see this race. The race that was very much anticipated between Brendan Schaub and Shapel Lacey. Brendan was very confident about this race. And of course, the confidence immediately evaporated.
Let's go, Shapel!
Let's go, Shapel! Who's that? Is that Shrimp filming? So. You know these kind of things are funny in the best of times. It's funny anyway, but it's even more funnier in this case because he was so cocky. He was so sure that he was going to be able to blitz Shapel in this race that it was quite infuriating that you actually wanted him to lose. Not in actuality, most people would have wanted him to lose, like, in a clear way. Like he actually tried to run, wasn't fast enough, and he got beat at the line. Or, Shapel ended up pulling away just before the end. I think most people actually didn't want him to get injured. But the weird thing is, if I remember correctly, when I checked the subreddit one time, somebody predicted this. Somebody actually predicted that most likely he would fake an injury and pull up before the race ended and say something like, oh, I could have done it if my injury, because he's the same guy that says, oh, I could have done this if I didn't do that. I could have done this if I didn't do that. But, gee, let's watch that back one more time. Let's watch that back. Let's run it back one more time. Run that thing back. Run that back, bad boy.
Let's go, Shapel!
Mate, you know what's funny? You know what's hilarious? That wasn't even 100 meters. That wasn't 100 meters. I've run for most of my life. Like, I did track and field in school. I've done park runs. I've run 10Ks, 5Ks, half marathons. I've not done a full marathon yet, but I've done all those things, right, on a regular basis, especially at my peak between between the years of like 2017 to 2020. I was doing a race every other month. I'd travel to places. I went to Berlin to do the half marathon there. Went to Barcelona, did the half marathon. I know what a 100 meter looks like. And I'm guessing even you guys, I haven't even run before. You would know what a 100 meter looks like by your eye test. You can just tell that's not 100 meters. 100 meters is like deceptively long or deceptively further than what you think it is. It's not as small as, especially when you see it on the screen. You think it's just a dash, but it's actually a lot longer than what you actually imagine. And you got to obviously keep that pace up because obviously 100 meters is a sprint. So you're not jogging. You've got to come out the blocks really quickly and try and hold on as much as possible. I think some people say that actually running repeats 100 meters and 200 meters is actually good preparation for 5Ks, because the idea with because the expert runners will tell you, if you want to actually run a good 5K, you should really sprint out the blocks and then just try and hold on for dear life towards the end. That's actually the thing. If you try and pace yourself, you just end up getting a really slow time. If you actually go really fast, then you'll go well. And for somebody like Brendan, who always talks about doing miles and miles on a bike, which he doesn't pedal because it's a flipping e-bike, let's get that for real. And somebody's meant to be a former athlete, a beast of a this, a beast of a that, lifts all this weight, big this, big that, and it's like, dude, you can't run less than 100 meters. That was probably a 40-yard dash, most likely. I don't know what you guys think, but what do you guys think? That looked like a 40-yard dash to me. That didn't look like 100 meters. I'm sure people will be able to measure the parking spots and see how long that stretch was, but 100 meters is way further back than that as an actual 100 meters. But the point of the matter is, even though it was a 40-yard dash, it's clear to see with the eye, this guy isn't fast. There's nothing explosive about Brendan at all, which again goes to show that his athletic achievements, or the way that he talks about his athletic career, is somewhat overinflated, and some would say even a downright lie. Like, I just don't believe it. Like, supposedly he's meant to have this really quick 4.8 time, former footballer. I just don't believe it, because again, it's a bit weird. It's a bit of a bad comparison, because obviously Shapel used to be a former cheerleader, so he's got good gymnastics, whatever that thing is. So it's obviously he's got explosiveness in him, and he's probably got like fast. What's that thing called? Fast twitch fibers, right? He can probably come out the blocks pretty fast. And again, he's black. So he's gonna be a little bit faster, right? So the fact that he legitimately thought you could beat him in a race is just laughable. But even the form wise, there's no doubting this guy can't run quickly. It's like he's running in treacle, right? And I guess if any of you guys remember that Fire and the Kid 3D thing from back in the day, where they're running in the sand, you could tell Brendan's not fast from how he was running in the sand. And back then he was way more slimmer than what he is now. Don't get me wrong. Also, yeah, another point to make. Brendan's probably like this now because in the last few years, somehow he's turned into an alcoholic. He's turned into like, his own version of Bert Kreischer, which is really, really strange. Because if you're an OG fan of the show, like I used to be, I don't listen to it anymore, but if you're an OG fan of the show, you would remember Brendan had this kind of superiority complex because he didn't drink or do anything. Like, nah, I'm always on a strict diet. I'm this, I'm that. He was really proud of the fact that he kind of, he treated his body like a temple. Like, he took it seriously, that he was a former athlete. He took his health and fitness seriously. You to kind of credit. Did he credit it or did he not like it? But anyway, I got the impression that he liked the idea that people used to say, oh, he's really successful at comedy or stand-up because he's approached it like athletics. Like, he's really been diligent at it. He goes to do sets and spots every night. He doesn't drink. Cool. That was his thing before. And if you look at the older pictures of him in the Fox days, he was way more in shape than he was now. He even looks more handsome back then. No homo, right? He looks more handsome. He actually looks like an Adonis that Joe Rogan says he is back then more than he does now. So I'm sure all those years of, not all those years, only a few years recently, he's suddenly turned into an alcoholic, like drinking whiskey every day, donuts and stuff, and fast food, food truck diaries. That's not going to help your 100 meters ability. But that being said, Shapel Lacey isn't exactly a supermodel himself, right? He's obviously carrying a bit of timber, but he's still fast. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to running, it's like riding a bike. It's like being able to do a wheelie. You might be a bit big and you can't do a wheelie. It's like have you seen those videos of those really fat guys that are really good at skateboarding? And what happens is when you dig into the history, you find out, yeah, this guy used to be a skateboarder when he was younger. Then he just got fat as he got older, innit? But he's still got the skills. He can still do a kickflip. He can still pop shot. Maybe he's not going to land it. He might break the board, but you can still tell from how he jumps and he lands on the board and how he pushes, right? That he's got the ability to, he was actually a skateboarder back in the day. With Brendan, you could, if someone showed you this video, you would never be able to tell that this guy was a former professional athlete. You would never be able to tell. You wouldn't. You'd be like, huh? Who's this? Just two big guys racing each other. You won't be able to tell anything.
Let's go, Shapel!
And Shapel had him at the end there. Towards the end, he had him. And I think what happened, right, is he clearly knew he was losing, and then he just pulled up. And again, with the hamstrings thing, he self-diagnosed himself as having a hamstring pull. When you have a hamstring pull, I don't know about you guys, I've never torn my hamstring completely, but I've strained it. And if you've watched football, or you've watched, especially you guys in the States, you watch American football, you would know when someone's hamstring goes, it's like they get shot. It's like someone shoots them in the leg and they immediately crumple over. When you do your hamstring, you don't pull it like this and then
Let's go,
bend.
Shapel!
Look, he pulls it supposedly, pulls, and then look at him, and then he bends over. That's most likely a cramp. And why do you get cramps usually? Lack of hydration, because obviously he's famous for not drinking water. He only drinks fucking black coffee and shit, probably Black Rifle coffee, knowing him, right? So only drinks coffee, doesn't drink any water because he gets his liquid through coffee and flipping whiskey, doesn't warm up, isn't a high-level athlete in the first place, has been eating a bunch of donuts and just, abusing his body in these recent years, and then he thinks he can go and rock up in the car park and just race a black guy and win. Come on, man. Come on, have a bit of sense. Use your head. How does that make any sense? Someone please tell me how that makes sense. I would love to know. But he definitely did not pull his hamstring. That's either a cramp or he faked it because he knew he was going to lose. And if anything we know about Brendan, he hates to be embarrassed. He's like he has the most uncomedic way he goes about life, innit? Like he doesn't like to be laughed at. He doesn't like to be the butt of the jokes. He doesn't like to be teased really too much. Like there's a limit with him. You can only tease him to a limit, or you're gonna get the C clamp, or you're gonna get some rude eyes, or you're gonna get Malik off the show, right? You're gonna get good dude. You're gonna get thrown through a window if you laugh at him too much, or you might get your neck pulled off your flipping shoulders like Chin did. He doesn't like too many jokes, which is the opposite of being a comedian. You're meant to kind of laugh at yourself, but one more time and then we'll go to the other clips. One more time. Look at this. Look at this shit.
Let's go, Shapel!
That's definitely a crap. Yeah, that's not a hamstring pull. I don't care. But yeah, big up Chappelle for winning that thing. Hopefully you got your money, brother. And again, Chappelle, hopefully you got your money. And this guy needs to have a bit more self-respect, because what I saw recently of this guy and how he was, I remember I saw a video of him, especially, when did I see it? I think maybe a few weeks ago. There was a video that was going around on a flipping subreddit of Brendan sticking his finger in his mouth and shit, and that made me really sad. He didn't react angrily at all. He kind of just pulled a face. Like, you gotta have a bit more self-respect than that, man. I know this guy pays your bills, and you're living in LA, so it's kind of hard to say something to him because essentially, it's pandemic times. You gotta keep the lights on, but you gotta have more self-respect than that, man. You can't be letting people put their fingers in your mouth, man. That's just not acceptable. So if this is his way to get back at him by beating him in a race, hope you get your money too. Get your money up, because if that was the other way around, Brendan would be getting at him all day long about it. For sure he would. What are people saying here in the chat here? Let me see. Can I move that little box actually, so you don't see that? Let me see if I can move that box. Let me get this out of the way. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can move that box so it doesn't really appear too tough. Bear with me a second. Can I move this? It's like that. So why is it not like that on there? I wonder why. Let's see if I can maybe if I take it off a little bit. Let's see. Weird doesn't move up, innit? It's weird doesn't move up. If I just do this, what happens there? Does that move or not? Hope it moves. Anyway, let's see. We'll see if it moves. But yeah, let's see what are you like saying in the chat anyway. I appreciate you going live early. Of course, real question be, can you start the show? Thanks. Yeah, I'm here. I started the show, brother. I'm here. Chappelle checks all the boxes, 40-yard dash. I live in here in the LA area, and I really do wonder who it is here that is actually a fan of Schuab. It's like Bruno pulls his hamstrings a few times every game because he collapses on the ground. Yeah. The hamstring, honestly, I swear, you don't have to do it in sports. I've obviously run a lot. Like, I've done a lot of running. I've even got a picture here to prove it. Like, I'm not faking the funk. This is me in, like, I think 2017, right? This is I in 2017. As you can tell, I'm a lot more slimmer than what I am now at the moment. I'm aiming to get there, so don't be mean. Don't tease me. I'm getting there, right? I'm also a thick boy at the moment, but I'm trying to lose the weight. And also, I would never regard myself as a fucking thick boy. Imagine calling yourself that unironically, like legitimately, and wearing merch that says it on the top, like thick, like... Bloody hell, man. The corniest of the corn. Anyway, that was me running the Westminster Mile in 2017, which is basically a mile race where you basically go flat out for a mile and try and get your best time. If I'm not mistaken, I might have done it in I'm thinking 7:20, 7:30 was my quickest I've done. And the good thing about the Westminster Mile, it's quite flat. and there's no hills, so you're literally just running on a sort of track all the way through. And I felt my hamstring pull a little bit towards the end, but it was mostly to do with cramp. And I think I might have overhydrated in that day. I'm pretty sure. But in general, if you actually get cramp, again, this is from somebody that's run a lot of races. I've done marathon, no, I've done half marathons, I've done 10Ks, I've done 5Ks, I've done, whatever else in between all over the country and in parts of Europe. I swear to God, when you pull a hamstring, it's like someone shoots you in the back of your leg. And if you want to, you can even check it on YouTube and check compilations of people, especially on footballers, who get their hamstrings pulled as they're running after somebody, and it pops. It legitimately feels like someone shot you, or you feel as if something popped and something's hanging from your leg. It's not like you bending over. That's a cramp, most likely. Or he's just lying. That also could be the thing. He could just be lying, straight up lying. It never happened. It's all a complete lie. That could be true also. So don't get gassed on this thing. I swear to God, do not get gassed. But let's just, yeah. And then, of course, to make it worse, if that wasn't the worst thing at all, if you thought that race was a bit pathetic from Brendan, look at this post on Instagram. Who does this sort of stuff? Like, who does this? Like, tell me who does this. Can someone explain who does this? Who does this? Tell me who does this. Just look at that picture. Look at the crutches. They're not even his size. Or they're not adequately put. Did he have just crutches lying around his house that he just uses whenever he needs to call in the sickie? Is that a headband on his head, or is that a hair band? Did he put a bandage on his head because he's got a headache or something? Like, what is going on here? What are we doing here? Huh? What are we doing here? Supposedly a bandage on one leg when you both hamstrings is just ridiculous. Obviously the flipping crutches don't even fit. So I don't know what they're meant to be supporting, what weight he's taking off of anything. He could just limp around like that. He doesn't need crutches to do that. He can just limp around. There's no need to have an actual crutch to walk around like that. It's quite easy just to limp around. But supposedly it's only been bandaged up on one side. Usually whenever he goes out, or especially all these LA types, they love to flip and do IV drips, right? They'll get their little doctors to come home and give them IV drips or prescribe this, prescribe that. But supposedly my man blew both hamstrings, but hasn't bothered to go and get himself checked out. Hasn't bothered to go to a physiotherapist. Nah, just let me self-medicate or self-diagnose. The caption is hilarious as well. Ego is a hell of a drug. This fit grown man thought he could race his friend in a full 100-meter sprint after not sprinting for years and still be good at it. And still be all good. You know what's funny as well? The lack of humility and inability to laugh at himself. Anyone else that had this kind of funny thing happen to them where you blew both your hamstrings, both, as he says, you would have just uploaded the video too of the race. You just put that as part of the slideshow. Like, oh my God, look at me. And you'd upload all the memes. You know, like what happened to Tom Segura. When Tom Segura was playing basketball with Bert and he had that fucked up weird arm break thing. Many people made flipping crazy memes about it. Him getting shot, him like the flipping NBA logo. And he just kept sharing them and they went over them on a show. And if anything, them addressing it on the show, it kind of took all the steam out of it. The jokes were basically done once he basically laughed at himself, and it was funny. It was generally funny. You have to laugh at yourself and those kind of things, especially Tom Segura and those guys, because their whole show, Your Mum's House, is centered around finding the most messed up videos and laughing at people. So if something bad happens to you, you can't exactly start becoming all sensitive. But then, fundamentally, they're stand-up comedians. You shouldn't be taking yourself seriously at all. You should be a silly goose, as Brian Callen used to say back in the day, all the time. You should be able to just ha ha he he laugh at yourself at all occasions. It shouldn't be, oh, this is an ego dent. This ego, you're a comedian, mate. You're not an athlete anymore. You've been doing comedy probably just as long as you've been an athlete. Let's talk about that one. Professionally anyway, right? He's probably been able to make more money being a stand-up comedian than he's ever made being a professional athlete. So he's more of a comedian than he ever was an athlete. So of course you're not going to be fast. We're not expecting flipping Bert Kreischer to be fast. Despite what he might say about running on the treadmill, he's not going to be able to run a flipping, an endurance race for 100 miles. We're not expecting him to do so. But if he does mess up and he breaks his ankle, I want you to laugh at yourself because you're a comedian. It's not difficult. Laugh at yourself. Be able to joke around. You didn't even upload the video. You just posted this sort of semi-self-deprecating, giving sympathy and also bragging at the same time post. It's like, God, give it up, man. Give up the tough guy acting. Just laugh at yourself for a couple of minutes. Ha ha he he. What is this? Like, it would have been even funnier if he tried to make a joke out of it by making it seem like he was in the hospital, having a fake IV drip, like all this, doing something. Just make a bit out of it. Come on, man. Be funny. Ha ha ha. Haven't you got a special coming out soon? Like, god damn. Anyway, it continues. I blew out both my hamstrings. I'm so embarrassed. However, you're out of your mind if you think I won't still be running at the Tough Mudder in Jan 29th and on tour in Atlanta. See that tough guy shit? Oh, I'm a tough guy. Mate, you probably didn't blow both your hamstrings. If you can go to do a Tough Mudder, allegedly, and you could also go and do a stand-up comedy show, you didn't blow your hamstrings. Because if you blow both your hamstrings, you'd have to be flipping horizontal in the chair somewhere with your flipping legs elevated to take the pressure off of it. You couldn't go to do a Tough Mudder. That'll be the last thing in your mind. How long does flipping hamstring pulls take to flipping recover in professional sports? It's a few months, no? If I'm not mistaken, hamstring tears and pulls, right? It's a few months in professional sports with the best doctors and physiotherapy and surgeons money can buy. So for a regular dude, anyway, don't get me wrong, but Brendan's got money. It's not like he doesn't have money, but he's not going to have access to the best doctors that all those guys have. He's still not going to be, he can't afford to just sit down forever. He's going to have to move and do some stuff. So the rehab will be a little bit longer. And for sure, he'll cut some corners like he always does and cheat and do this and do that. So probably keep extending it bit by bit and maybe do some, irreparable damage towards the end. Again, touch wood, it doesn't happen to him, but you know how he is. Tough Mudder. You can't, again, just to be sensible too, who runs a 100-meter race with no warm-up ahead of a Tough Mudder that you've been talking about for ages? Who does that? Why not just wait until your finger's done and then run it, or do the 100 meters when you're at the Tough Mudder to kind of tie in with the content and make it seem like you're sponsored? Like, why not just do that? And our tour in Atlanta, 3rd to 5th, might have to go full Jose Sanko, but whatever it takes, I got to start listening to Brian Callen more. I don't know what the Jose Canseco line means. I'm not really that familiar when it comes to American athletes. It's either that Ferrari bill is really high or he's lying. Either he has to, like daddy, as he says, or papa cannot afford to sit down even though he's injured, or that Ferrari bill is no joke, for sure. I would imagine it's no joke anyway. It's a fucking Ferrari. You don't just lease those things for a couple of quid. Do you get what I mean? And again, short point, because it's not my business and, whatever, everyone's got their battles, but Jesus Christ, man's face. Look at that face, brother. Brendan used to be handsome. I don't care what anyone says. Brendan used to be actually handsome, right? Let's look at a picture here. Brendan, let's see if I can see it here. Brendan Schaub, right? 2017, right? Let's look at that. 2017. Because I think for some reason people have forgot that this guy actually used to look somewhat decent, and for whatever reason, the whiskey and all that stuff just completely eviscerated my man's face. Or maybe it's the steroids, because he looks shocking now, like legitimately shocking. Let's go back to the thing so I can show you guys, right? That allegedly is meant to be him in 2017. Let me move this along, actually. Right, so that's him now. That's meant to be him in 2017, allegedly, right? Around then, I think so. This as well, like, look at the difference in terms of handsome levels between this and this. And my man only started drinking alcohol again. For all my degenerates, I'm a degenerate too, right? When I'm clean at the moment, as I am, and when I'm on it, they're two different modes. I tap into that mode, I'm flipping snorting ketamine off of flipping random girls' elbows. I'm drowning myself in beer. I'm doing the most. I admit that. I'm not sat here being an angel. But I don't think my face looks as different as this to this. Like, look how pudgy it looks. Like, what is all this extra? It's like he's got extra skin, like a mask on top of his face. Do you know what I mean? That's how pudgy it looks. It's absolutely wild. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's got their fat bit. Like, I think my fat bit might be my ass. When I start putting on weight, my ass just blows out like Nicki Minaj, right? I have a massive, massive wagon I'm pulling sometimes. So maybe all his weight always goes to his face. But the difference between his legs and his face is wild, isn't it? No? Don't you think so? Like, look. And that's all from alcohol and just boozing it up. And again, this guy didn't used to drink before. He used to boast about not being a drinker. And now suddenly he looks like, I don't know, man. Like, look how handsome he looked there. He's got that weird smile thing that he's doing, right? That weird, like, this is how, again, smile-wise. This is how Brendan used to smile when he wasn't much of a Joe Rogan nut hugger, right? Now that he's a Joe Rogan nut hugger, he's got that weird He's got that Joe Rogan smile that he does. That kind of like that bizarre smile that everyone does. But look at how he looks there. Like he looks awful, bruv. And I think it's all, and I think it might be all steroids. It just might be all because I think people say when you do steroids, like look how in shape he is there compared to what he is now. Like, and supposedly people are saying that's all steroid use. That's why he looks the way that he looks now at the moment, which is pretty sad to say, man. Because usually you would imagine when somebody does steroids, you're meant to be ripped or you're meant to look quite good, and whatever reason, my man looks actually worse. But god damn it, man. What happened to you, geezer? Like, it's a crazy indictment, isn't it? He only started drinking recently in a few years, and he's gone from looking like where is it? Even this is a good picture. Look at that. Look at that guy and this guy to the other guy. And again, most of it's just moisturizing as well, I'm assuming. If he moisturized a bit more, he'd probably look a bit better. But that, and even this, is when will Brendan ever look like that again? Someone told me, in the professional athlete is on. I'm just coming from somebody that's just a regular dude. I don't really care. And again, it's mostly his fault because he'll dismiss you or I because we're not professional athletes or because we didn't go in a fire and we're not this and we're not that. But my man, like you were in UFC not that long ago. You allegedly played football all your life and did sports all your life. Like, how are you looking this bad straight away? Like, look how badass this knockout thing was. Look how great he looks there. Bald head, just doing business, doing work, and into this. It's like, god damn it, brother. You let yourself go hard. But yeah, this is a crappy caption. He should have been a little bit more humble and actually been able to kind of laugh himself a bit more and just uploaded the video of him losing the race as well. But he didn't, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm looking too much into it, but this is the vibe. What are you guys saying here? I live in LA. Wolfgang Rittner saying, hi, it's Schuab. What do you expect? Exactly this. LOL, my God, I do like to goof on that mate head. You look great, healthy now, but you looked athletic on the picture. Damn good look that is. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I'm actually aiming to get there. At the moment, I'm lowering my weight at the moment. I started off the year at 260? And I think that picture, if I'm not mistaken, this picture, if I'm not mistaken, I might have been my lightest. That was about 190 pounds. So I put a lot of weight on between now and then, but most of it has been COVID. So don't get cheeky, right? Don't get cheeky. Most of it's flipping COVID. Don't say nothing. But I was probably 190, maybe 195 pounds then. I'm about probably I weighed myself at the beginning of the year, so I was 260. I would like to say I'm in the 250s. That'd be awesome. But the plan is by the end of March, I want to get down to 200. It's a crazy goal to have, but that's my goal. I want to get down to 200 pounds by the end of March, and I'll be absolutely over the moon because 200 pounds means I'm basically 34 to 32, no 30, 32 to 34 jean size, maybe leaning more on the 35ish, and then by the time I get it to 190, I'm straight 32, straight 33, like living the life of life. But as you can tell, I've been doing too many weights at the moment. Yeah, weights, a weights is not double cheeseburger, is it? But yeah, you know what I mean. Let's continue here. Dude's wearing a shirt like a dress. Yeah. Who does the zebra? His head described himself as thick with 2 C's. Welcome to the Wash Life Brens. If he's going to blow up both hammies running 100 meters, he might has actually lost the fist fight with Ariel. Oh, mate, tell me about it. It's not just the alcohol in the food truck. Dario said it contributes. New cribbler, yeah. Crash, how tall are you? Tall, height-wise, I think I'm 6'4", exactly. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure how much that is in centimeters, but I don't really tend to, I don't tend to measure my height. I think that's for dullards and weirdos that sit there and measure their height. It's like the kind of guys that sit there with a water bottle and measure how big their dick is. It's like, get a hobby, mate. Get a bloody hobby. But anyway, move on. Let's see this other clip. What's this one? This is supposedly Brendan is down bad. So let's check this clip out quickly before we move on and see what this vibe is saying. I haven't actually watched this, so watch this together and see what this vibe is saying. But I think this is a clips from the show again, all taken from the Fire and the Kids subreddit. So big up those guys for providing the lols, because without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do half of this stuff because I'm not watching that shit. It's just too much of a nosebleed or eye bleed or whatever that word is. But yeah, it's another one. Let's see what they're saying here.
Oh yeah.
So,
then
I
we
mean,
got
yeah, I
fucked
guess,
up.
I mean-
I'm both hamstrings. I'm both. One, I was like, all right, I can.
Is that a speech impediment on an accent? Where's he from again? Colorado? Idaho? Where's he from? I don't know if you guys know in the chat. Is he from Colorado, Idaho? Is that like an accent thing, saying both? Why can't you just say both? It's one of the easiest words to say, no? Phonetically. Both. Why both? What's a both?
Both? And the left is. Listen, I've been around the
He's
block.
I got sets tonight.
Left is bad.
The left is-
It's not torn off the bone, but it is.
Well, it's where your ass.
I let you, well, that's where it connects.
That's a huge problem.
Well, because it.
And you
rolls
felt
up.
it, Brian?
It rolled that when you're feeling.
Why can't they just laugh at him? Why are they doing this fake concern as if man got run over by a car or something? You ran a race, you gassed yourself up too much, you blew your hamstrings, or you got cramp, or you lied. That's it. Move on. What's this concern as if, I don't know. Like, this isn't like life or death. You did it to yourself, innit?
Yeah, that's the ball muscle rolled up.
Oh, that's a big problem because that's awful because that's where
You went up
that's
and
where
felt
the-
it.
Well, that's where the machine.
Well, I wanted to
starts.
feel. Yeah, that's where.
If you want to cripple somebody, cut them there, and you're not doing anything.
Kat, you brought cupcakes for Chappelle's.
Yeah, it's Chappelle's birthday on Sunday.
On Sunday,
so
it's my
happy
birthday.
early birthday.
And then when's
Thank
your
you.
birthday? Be
Birthday's
soon.
fun.
The 26th. This is on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So we'll have
Next-
it. We'll have
next
a.
My man can't even look at him. You know what I mean? He feels that embarrassed with shame. He can't look at him. Oh, look, I got a little shrimp next to me, too. Man, like shrimp on the right there. Big up, big up, big up.
Show.
Wednesday, yours is Sunday.
Well, yeah, we'll have a show and for Fighting the Kid, and then the show at night
Yeah,
for your
Oh
birthday.
fuck, that's right.
yeah.
The Brendan Schaub and friends. So yeah, and we'll bring you up on the wheelchair. Just to
Or do I go crutches?
We shouldn't have did that. We shouldn't have did the race.
Painkillers on the way.
You do?
I have
You're
muscle
sitting on a
relaxers
bag of
at
ice.
home. I'm sitting on ice.
Did you hit on Mark
what's
Harley?
the pain at right now?
When it first happened, I would say it was at a strong 9 out of 10. You know me, I'm
Yo, Chappelle's got a chill in it. Like, you could say happy birthday to him and he would laugh like this. You could say what's your name and you'd laugh at this. You could say I like your shirt and you'd probably laugh at this. Why does he do this? Is this like a? It kind of reminds me of like Jimmy Kimmel, innit? Jimmy Kimmel's got that thing he does too, where he kind of fake laughs at everything. But this is really, really annoying in terms of a face that someone pulls. Like, there's nothing worse than somebody just ha-ha-heeing at everything that you say. It's like, relax, man. I'm not that funny. I'm not Dave Chappelle. Chill out. You know what I mean? Just simmer down. This guy's giggling and laughing. If anything, I remember seeing this meme online. Someone said like, this guy laughs like or I think it was somebody else that they're laughing like they want to ask for money. This is what it kind of sounds like. When someone wants to ask you a favor, like this is how they laugh. Like, oh man, you're a joke, man. You're hilarious, man. You're too much, man. All those kind of things. And then later on, they're like, oh, let me ask you something. Let me holler at you quickly. And it's always some mad, ridiculous ask like, can you lend me 10 grand or something? You're like, what? 10 grand with no interest. You're like, Jesus Christ. And the return date is like unspecified. It's like, who do you think I am to give you 10 grand unspecified with an unspecified date? Oh shit.
tough guy. I'd say
You're a tough guy.
I'd say for me to lay on the ground like that and go, I can't.
You couldn't get up. I had to help
I
you.
know.
I'd say it's a 9, and then now chilling here, if I'm in a certain position,
You're
it's
okay.
like no, I'm not okay.
I was ready to walk you.
No,
I was ready to walk you.
I'm just sitting here. It's a 7, and then when I go to leave, it's gonna be again.
This is not a comedy show. They can't laugh anymore. It's just him basically trying to feign sympathy or trying to get sympathy from these guys who should be absolutely ripping him to pieces. This is what it should be, because it's a funny thing. It should get to a point where he feels uncomfortable and he has to say, hey, chill out. Not to this sort of like fake concern where everyone's kind of like, oh, bless him, he trying. It's like, bruv, isn't he meant to be the former professional athlete? Like, why is he pulling up, during a flipping 40-yard dash? Like, it's not that serious.
Certain areas, 9 to 10.
Now, from your experience, the next day is not better than the first day, yeah?
I don't know, man. I don't know. These mofos are weird. These mofos are weird. Let's quickly run through to the next one. Oh, mate, I don't know. I really, really don't know. I'm struggling to really keep abreast of what's going on here. Another one. Oh, yeah, this is the movie, right? Someone put a compilation together, actually, of of what led us to the situation. It's called Hamstring the Movie, B. Let's check this one out. This might be good. This might be pretty good. Let's check this one out. Let's see.
For life.
Like, all right, everybody's in this room is going to have a foot race, 100 meters. You just get nervous.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
I probably beat everybody.
You probably.
You want to bet $5,000?
Not
a
5,000.
chance.
I bet you $1,000. I'd beat you in 100 meters.
Not a chance.
I bet you.
We'll set.
Shapel, I hope you got your $1,000, brother. You should have stuck with the 5. You got a bit nervous. You felt his ass, right? You felt his ass poking through, popping out of his pants a little bit. You should have just stuck with that $5,000. But I hope you got your grand, brother. I hope you did.
That up.
I would so beat you. I don't think you understand me. I'll race in these motherfucking vans right here.
A couple of things about Brendan. He's got better technique.
I believe.
He's got better technique.
Strongly believe.
He's not slow.
I don't think he is.
He's not slow.
Brian Cannon's all the cockiness. Like, relax, brother. Relax. We know he saved your career. We know. We know without him, you probably wanted to cover your alimony. We know. We get it. But chill out a little bit, man. Take his flipping nutsack out of your esophagus just for a minute. A flipping minute. God damn it.
And he did.
Scaredy Cat Brian was actually right? Scaredy Cat hypochondriac Brian was right for once. When he gets Schuab's nut and ball sacker and flipping shaft out of his gob, then he was actually right. He actually made.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
You just go out here.
Oh,
We'll just mark off 100 meters.
I'm your husband.
Drinks every day in it like this. What time did I record this show? At 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 10, 11. This is worse than Bert Kreischer level, I think. At least Bert pretends to be somewhat sober on a show when he's recording it. My man's drinking whiskey straight up every single day. It's like, what the hell? No wonder you can't run 100 meters, mate. You need some actual water in your system, not just whiskey, you know what I mean? Oh, look at Brendan's face. He's like, I told you so. You should listen to the old man, innit? Anyone that gets their lids removed at the age of 50, whatever he was, and then gets cancelled, you probably should listen to them, innit? He's seen the dark side of life. Imagine being a man and you get to a point where you have to remove your lids because you feel like that might improve your ability to secure jobs and get gigs, because Hollywood is so awful like that, right? Hollywood doesn't let you grow old, even if you're a dude. There's this idea that, suddenly that guys can have more roles, older as they can. It's like, nah, for the most part, older dudes aren't really on TV like that. Do you know what I mean? They just usually push you to the side, or they make you read the news or something boring like that. But if you want to be an actual entertainer, you always have a shelf life. Then your agent tells you on the phone, hey man, if you get a bit of surgery, you remove your lids, maybe you do a couple of sit-ups and you show people how ripped you are and stuff, and you maybe get rid of that little tin quiff that you had going on, and you just kind of, try and look sort of nondescript in terms of your look and your fashion, so people can put whatever person they want on you or character on top of you, to can get more jobs, so you can kind of pay for my mortgage and pay for my kids' private school in flipping Switzerland, right? Or boarding school or whatnot. You think it's a good idea, then you go ahead and do it. One of your close friends gets cancelled and you pretend like you don't know him. I don't know Chris. I've never hanged out with a guy. We did one show. You throw him under the bus. And then life's karma comes and hits you over the head by having you get accused of a far worse flipping accusation in terms of rape than what he did. And then the eyes that you got done are basically for nothing, because no one's going to book you, because the Hollywood industry is flipping dumb. And even if you've got an allegation against you that has no proof, your career is basically done, because that smudge is impossible to get away from you. And now here you are having to officiate a race between a couple of podcasters. It's like, how the mighty have fallen. 1 minute you're in the Joker, for 0.5 seconds. The next minute you're advising your flipping employer, your boss, to not run this race because his ability to not do the pod is going to directly affect your ability to pay alimony. Oh, mate, honestly, I would be so embarrassed. But yeah, mostly for sure, because legitimately he was talking as if my man was like, he was talking like he was Terrell Owens. Do you know what I mean? I know who that is. He's pretty fast. He was talking like he was, Antonio Brown or something. Bruv, you don't have that mineral. You don't have the minerals. You're not that guy.
We literally did not need to do that.
Let's go, Shapel!
Christian.
Look, and he wore joggers too, which he says he never wears. Do you remember that time he said he never wears joggers? Always goes dressed up. He's got joggers on. He's got some ACG on. I think those are Arrivedercis, if I'm not mistaken, or Moabs. They look like either Nike Moabs or Arrivedercis. So they've got some sort of sock liner in them, so they're pretty snug on the foot. They're pretty easy to run in because they're basically, hiking sneakers.
And so Brendan has got 2 severe pulled hamstrings, and he's a little
2 cramps.
heavy right now.
The
He's a little heavy of heart.
See, such a pussy. Couldn't even stick with the heavy. You had to go heavy of heart. Like, just, yeah, man. Anyway, big up the PF Chang's crew. Big up the PF Chang's crew. Oh, yeah. These people, man. Oh, that was hilarious. I'm not going to lie. Let's do another one. What's this one? Yeah, this is quite good. No, is this one a good one? Yes, this one. Let's see what this one's saying. Let's see what this one is saying.
So somber in here. It's like
Brendan's face.
I think Brandon's just thinking about
It's whenever you're
next few
I
days.
wish I had painkillers.
when you're
Are they
reminded
coming?
of how
I
flesh
ordered
and
some.
bone.
But there's some Advil.
I got Advil and Tylenol all day.
Hey, Chin got
I
you
got a ton of
set.
Advil and Tylenol.
He's a pharmacist.
Yeah, Chin's a pharmacist.
You want
Dog.
some?
He got this on lock.
Yeah.
No, man, I need the real
I know.
shit.
Hey, Chin, give him
Probably some cocodamo or something in it.
that neck.
Pass
Or some Xannies.
a couple over to me too,
No,
Brandon.
I took some, what was that, ibuprofen, Christian?
I have no idea. It was
You-
the highest painkillers I think.
You got
I've
friends who
seen,
know.
guys.
You got friends who know about the dark.
Yeah,
stuff.
I'll get it today.
Yeah. Now you got to probably shoot it in your hiney.
I will shoot my fucking eye to walk.
So
Yeah.
wait, when you do one of those shots, it'll take it away forever.
Well, no.
Let's not get crazy. It'll at least get me through the tough mutter.
Oh, got
But
it.
then after that, it's good.
If Chappelle was really about this life, he would have came in with like a celebratory bib, a belt, some sort of crown, something to celebrate this, just to kind of rub it in a bit more. None of this kind of like meek, oh, I'm concerned, I'm worried about you. No. Rub it in his face. But, you got to protect where your butter, you got to protect where your bread is buttered.
Gonna be a
Oh, so it's like but it basically wears off.
yeah. Let's
You
get
gotta.
through
Do
it.
you,
NFL players do it.
What? What'd you say?
Yeah. In this case, you got to make sure it ain't. It's a tear. You think it's a tear or a pull? We don't know.
I don't know. We'll see if
I mean, you've
if
had
I wake
damage.
up tomorrow, or really, I'd say in the next hour, if it starts pooling blood, I tore it and I'd have to go to the doctor.
If it was,
The only way to attach is by having surgery.
Pooling blood? What does that even mean?
Yeah. That's.
all this for
Such a drama queen, isn't it? Surgery. Mate, you got a couple of cramps because you couldn't run. Relax with the drama.
fucking 100-meter.
Yeah, I know.
What
we're
are we
fucking
doing?
Idiots. No,
What are
we're
we
fucking
doing?
Idiots.
What are we doing here?
But my leg would be so much more swollen. It'd be I'd be able to feel the swelling. So I'm
Really?
assuming it's just a really bad pull.
Yeah.
Like that when you felt the back, the ball and
Yes.
muscle.
Yes.
It has to be.
Just touching it hurts.
Oh man,
Fuck.
good job, guys. Dude, there were so many warnings.
There
for
were
me.
so many warnings.
Sometimes.
Bro, I barely made it through the fucking mile this morning.
I know.
Come on.
Sometimes the waves are very high. There's a huge impending storm, and you set sail anyway.
Yeah.
And you know you're going to get lost to sea, and you just do it
This
anyway.
was the perfect
There's
storm.
something about being a human being, and sometimes you go, I'm going to roll the dice, even though the gods are actually shouting at me.
They're like,
shouting
"Hey,
in my ear. They're
hey,
not even
Brendan,
clearing their
stop."
throats.
Laugh at him, man. All this fucking philosophy, man. This isn't. Ay.
It's been raining a lot too, and it was supposed to rain. If it rained, everything
And
would
when
be
it rains,
different.
it messes
Even,
up
though,
your
even
joints.
this morning, I
right?
texted, hey, with the rain,
Yeah,
just postpone it. I felt pressure from everybody.
Mainly from fucking Brian.
Yeah, but I put a lot of pressure on it.
I put a lot of pressure, but I also begged you.
Yep.
I wanted you guys to do a couple practice jogs, up and down, go a little faster, go a little faster.
Yeah, to be
and
honest,
then
I don't
we'll
even
be
think
ready.
that would have helped me here. Like sprinting full bore.
Well,
Because
not after-
no matter
not after
what,
your
you still
workout.
got to sprint full.
Not after your workout.
Yeah,
you
that
cool
was
down.
stupid.
No,
I should have just done it fresh in the morning.
Well, you
Yeah.
got to.
Yeah. Anyway, they're not pretending it was a workout, innit? Okay, cool. Whatever you say, my friends. Whatever you say. Now it's a workout. First it was the trousers, then it was the trainers. Like, what's the next excuse here? Jesus Christos. If ever there was somebody that would make those unnecessary mistakes, has to be him, innit? Let's see here. What else we got here? Yeah, let's see a backflip. Put slow brain time in his place. Let's see what this one is. Oh, these videos are the best. Christmas has come early, mate. Christmas has fucking come early. Tell you that much.
Dark.
Brendan, I got a question.
Yeah.
Doing that, they
oh,
do.
big time.
Yeah.
It accelerated super fast.
Well, then you got to do it.
Oh, yeah. Daddy's going
Hey, Brendan.
dark.
Brendan, I got a question.
Yeah.
What'd you think of me?
You're fast. I knew you're fast, but
Can I see the race?
I
See
mean,
the race before he?
I didn't think you were going to be
where
fucking
Chappelle
like,
was?
slow. I knew you're fast.
I didn't think you were gonna be slow.
Yeah, I mean,
I was saying.
I was like, the shoot to take someone down. Obviously, you got to be fucking fast.
Well, Brendan did
Yes,
text me. Brendan
yes.
said he said
That's got to be
Chappelle
explosive.
might be super fast. I was like, he
well,
might
he's
be.
confident in.
Yeah, he's confident.
There's not too many things I go hard about.
I mean,
you're pretty fast.
Does
You're a big boy.
Does Daddy heal
But is
up
it-
and we do it again?
But
Or
was
is
that
this
not a-
just in the? Is it just fuck it?
what do you think, Brian? Because he didn't listen to you.
Well, here's what I
would
say.
you what would
Here's
you
what I
say?
Here's what I say.
I mean,
So
who's gonna wait around for this for a year
I was
for me
gonna
to
say. I was
rehab?
going to say. You know you're not sprinting for 1 year, okay? But I do like the idea of actually properly preparing for it.
Anyway, mate, this is so boring. They're not even making this funny. It's just fucking two guys trying to cope and put their flipping Schuab capes on to make sure Daddy's okay and Papa's feelings don't get flipping hurt. It's like so yawn. God almighty, make it fun, man. Ha ha he he. Bring some spice to the table. Do something. God damn it. But yeah, I think that might be the most of it, really. Innit? I think I've got here. Yeah, let's end with this. This is a pretty good one. Isn't it? Let's end with probably this one, or maybe a couple more. This is a good one. The way he asks questions on his show. This is from the Food Truck Diaries with what's his face, Sugar Shane, right? And you wouldn't guess him by the looking at the clip. You'd think it was just Brendan talking on his own show, but this is meant to be him interviewing Sugar Shane. But let's see. Look at his face, man. Look how lumpy he is. God damn it. He's probably the worst advertisement for roids you've ever seen. Because for somebody who's naturally as large as he is and tall, you would assume if you did roids and worked out and had a good diet, he'd look pretty incredible. Like in terms of aesthetically. But instead he just looks like a regular dude.
I think you're the one guy that the UFC has done right by, like, not just after you have all this, fan support and everyone see you fight. They're doing a good job with you. I'd like to get your perspective on it, but they're doing a good job where they're not just tossing you like right to a title fight, because it's a marathon, not a sprint. And we've seen with other guys. I can listen.
How long is that question? And how many questions are there?
Some guys out for you. I don't want to call anybody out, but where they do catapult them right to the top, and they're not ready for it yet. To me,
He's probably talking about Darren Till because he hates him. But look at how look at that. That looks like has he got, again, not to laugh, but has he got some sort of like tumor or something like this? Like, what is this on the side of his face? How is your cheek popping out from the other side? Like, that is wild, isn't it? His cheek's literally popping out from the other side here. Look, can you see that? From the other side, his cheek is like popping out. God almighty, my guy.
like your story, like the come up, there's nothing better in the UFC than the guy's come up. Because once you're there, it's like, yeah, all right, he has millions of dollars and he's doing the goddamn thing. But the come up's the most fun for the fans. So I think you're the one guy they finally got it right.
40-second question. Ay. And I bet you as soon as he started answering, he interrupted him again. It's like, what the hell? Oh, mate, what an absolute legend. One of the worst interviewers in the history of interviewing, I swear on my life. And then, yeah, let's end with this one, actually. Let's end with the clip about his whiskey. Let me get that up on the screen here. Bish bash bosh. Yeah, it's playing it. Cool. Let's get this up here. I think it's him trying to give business advice. I think so. I'd imagine so. Some sort of business advice. Surprisingly, his food hasn't been eaten as much as the other bits. But yeah.
You're talking guy who started his own whiskey, and when I started my own whiskey, I was like, oh, I make it and I sell it.
Oh, the whiskey. The audio is terrible, isn't it? You've seen the difference in the quality of the show from when he left Showtime to this. it's tiny things, and I'd imagine the same thing would happen to me if Showtime would have come to me and and said, hey, we want to sponsor your little stupid streams. I'm sure this quality of this little webcam would improve also, but the quality of the show is definitely dipped since then, which is a shame, but I guess that's what's going to happen when you go all in on yourself and you decide to spend some of the startup money on the fucking Ferrari. Oh, legend. But yeah.
Sell it. And then they're like, nah, bitch. The way it works, you need distributors, and the sales team, they've been selling Buffalo Trace for 200 years. And then you just expect them to hustle your stuff for what? So it's like these relationships and getting to certain cities. So you
I don't know. Is that even a thing to brag about, that you did no research or preparation into getting into a business that you had no experience in whatsoever beforehand? Did he legitimately thought he was going to be able to sell whiskey bottles on his Shopify or something? Get restaurants to comedy clubs to just sell it whenever he goes there. I swear there's state laws, especially in America, in terms of liquor. I know there is here in the UK, so I'd imagine the state laws for liquor in the United States are insane in terms of state by state. You probably can't cross certain lines with certain things. It's probably done in some sort of like cartel way where certain families and groups, they control certain areas of the market, certain regions. You have to get pally with him and she, maybe you have to go to this distributor because even though they're more expensive, they're gonna have the connections to go here, to go there. I'd imagine there's loads to it. That would just be my initial reaction to it. I wouldn't think it was just simply a case of you going on AliExpress and finding a bottle and then putting your label on it. It's definitely got to be more than that. So for him to use this as some sort of like common man, oh look at me, I'm like, as a way to be relatable, it's not really relatable. You've essentially just pissed money up the wall because you thought you could sell whiskey bottles of whiskey and you're flipping big cartel. That's not how life works. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here for real? Like, what are we doing here for real? Like, I don't get that. What a terrible thing to brag about. But hey man, at least he's trying, some people would say, innit? At least he is trying. But yeah, we're an hour in already. I think we've kind of gone through all the topics and points and whatnot, so I'm going to end it there for now. Random Show episode number 22. If you've had a good time and you've enjoyed yourself, why not give this little live stream a little like? And if you want to come back and check some other stuff from me, why not subscribe? And if you don't, then just leave, innit? Just leave. Just bloody leave. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had a good time. We'll share some LOLs, we'll share some laughs and jokes. And yeah, let's see what else happens in another episode of Schuab and Running, innit? Let's see what else happens in another episode of Schuab and Running. But like I said, for my podcast links and stuff, check the description. You can find that on there. Shows come out mostly every day. I've got a Patreon too where I do episodes. That's going to be updated there very soon. So check that out. It's coming up. But apart from that, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna peace out for you guys right now because it's getting late and stuff where I am, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Thanks again for tuning in. It has been a pleasure. Never a chore. Take care, my friends. Take care.